Hi, and welcome to Three of Skeins, episode 75.
It's our Jubilee.
Oh, it's our Jubilee episode. Welcome. So, Cryss, you have big news today, so you go first.
I have little big news, not big news. I finished my vest. I finished Janky Vest. I know y'all are happy to hear me say that because I'm tired of talking about it, so you must be tired of hearing about it. But yeah, Janky Vest is done.
And Janky Vest is not at all janky.
She's less janky than she was. Yes. I needed to rip out, and I really didn't want to because I was so close to finishing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I de-jankified her just a bit. But we're still going to, mark her janky roots.
Yes.
But yeah, so I even have my little bottom edging done. The strings, they're still strings, but she's done. And so I did very thin edgings because this shoulder is so wide, so I just made those edgings quite thin. But I like that because it kind of mimics the grid lines in the gray yarn.
Yeah, I like that.
And I'm going to insert a picture because I now know how to insert pictures.
The learning curve, man. It's like,
Yes.
woo!
And you will see a cameo by A-Line Easy A skirt. Yes, the A-Line Easy A skirt. And I made a whole cute little outfit. But yeah.
So what changes did you have to make in your last iteration?
So I took off the green and the white up here at the top of the shoulders and also at the top of the back. I ended up doing a little bit of that neck shaping on the back, which I had forgotten to do previously. I actually also took just a few rows. I think I took like 5 rows off of the pink section, just to move this gray line up a little bit, because it was hitting me in a weird spot on the bust. Yeah, and I had initially added some width at the sides, but I took that out because I really just didn't need it. It fits perfectly. I'm very, very happy. And I really wanted a sweater vest. And now I made one. I wanted a sweater vest, and I made a sweater vest, and now I have a sweater vest.
And so, I love how these colors came together.
Yeah, Mom said she would never have put these colors together, but I don't know. When I saw them, they immediately just meshed in my head. So I'm really happy with it.
And we'll tell you what the yarn is in the description bar. It's from...
Yeah, it's Hope Made Yarn Co.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a sock yarn, so I think it's a 75-25 merino and nylon. And the green is called Mossy. The off-white is called it's called Garden Party. Mm-hmm. And the pink is called So This Is Love.
Did you also do some armhole shaping?
A little bit, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was part of the reason I had taken apart the pink at the top. I added in some armhole shaping because I had extra fabric over here. It wasn't cute. So I yanked all of that out, and it's much better now.
So don't be scared to rip it out. Sometimes, like I said, that's the solution. You just rip that bad boy out. And you are doing your happy dance, and I'm so happy for you.
And when I was, I don't know if I was hungry, if I was tired, or if I was just frustrated. When I was putting it back together, so I stitched back the upper portion, and I was doing my shoulder seams again. Somehow, I had seamed like the back right to the left front, so it was like so.
Oh.
I was crestfallen, which is not a word one gets to use very often, but that is exactly how I felt. I couldn't believe it. I felt like the stupidest human alive.
Happens to all of us.
And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to deal with that after dinner. And I went and I ate, and then I was just much more mentally prepared to take it apart.
Yes.
And seam the left to the left and the right to the right. So we took some turns. We took some wrong turns with Janky Vest, but you know what? Miss Janky prevailed.
What did you do on the bottom for the bottom hem?
Just half double crochet. Oh. So all of my edgings are just half double crochet.
Oh, that's pretty.
Because I really like the horizontal line that it gives me. I feel like it's a fun alternative to like vertical ribbing.
Yeah.
So you will probably be seeing a lot more half double crochet edgings.
Yeah, and I like the way it kind of offsets all the vertical lines you have going in the vest. That's super cute. Now, how was this yarn against your skin? Because I know you have
I haven't worn it against my skin yet because it's a vest. So I'm wearing it. I wore it over a shirt. But let me tell y'all, Miss Easy A, she itchy. We're just not gonna lie. And I feel like people who have been making their own clothes with wool for a while knew this, that wool just itches, but they're just so happy with the garment they wear it anyway. And that's where I am. I'm like, well, Miss Easy A just gonna have to itch because she cute. But I think it's not like an allergy. I think it's actually the scales. I think it's just a sensitivity, a high sensitivity that I have to the scales, which means it's going to be any wool that I use.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have this problem.
Well, you know what? You can just wear a slip under it. That will keep it off you. Or
she hasn't shopped for a slip in a while. Last time I tried to find a slip, I have a half slip, but it's like a long length one.
Yeah. And
I think I ended up going to either Sears or Boscov's, like some store that I hadn't been into in a millennia.
Yeah.
And
they're hard to find now.
Yeah, so to go back and try to find a shorter length slip, I might just cut the one I have. I don't know.
Or just put a lining in it.
Yeah, that's funny. That's not going to happen.
Oh, dear sister, you do amuse me so.
What I could do, actually, is just whatever I'm wearing, wear like a tank top underneath, because my tank tops, come down to my hip. And then the skirt just won't be touching me, but the tank top won't actually be part of the outfit. It'll just be there to be a layer. But yeah, Miss A itch. It's okay though. It's fine. I'm gonna wear it anyway.
Yeah, true that. And it looked great with this.
It does.
It looked great with this.
I feel like the Easy A skirt is just gonna be very versatile. I'm gonna get a lot of wear out of it because it's basic shape. It's a neutral color.
I mean, you didn't even know this was coming down the pike when you made that
skirt. I didn't.
Yeah. And they go together like they came together.
Like babies and pacified. But yeah, I'm happy. I have another FO.
That is super exciting. Super exciting. Well, as you guys know, are you done? I have 2 projects I'm working on actively right now. And I made sure to get some time in to work on both of them. So I have progress.
Oh.
Yes, I do. So I'm going to start with my blanket because it's on top. Now, the other day...
You say it's queen size.
Yes.
So,
the other day when it was cold, this was very cozy. I have to tell you, it's a little bit warmer today.
Oh, this weather has been insane. Like, literally been flipping back and forth between turning on the heat and turning on the air conditioning.
Yeah, it's been wild. So I've got some stitching done, like my real live, bona fide, not practice stitching done. And I am so happy with how it's looking. I decided that I liked all 3 colors. As a matter of fact, when I asked both Mom and Cryss, which color should I use? They were like, those 3 look good. So I decided to go with all 3. And what I'm doing is I am alternating the white with each color. So I'm going to do, white, then the rust, then the white, then the gold, then the white. So I'm going to use twice as much white as I am of the colors. And I love how it looks. And I feel the difference adding some extra wool to this situation is doing. So why I have these long strings is because I can only draw the lines on the blanket, but so far. So I'm gonna draw the lines. I do just a basic 1x1 grid, and then I sew.
Oh, yeah, I see your line.
Yeah, and then I sew, and then I will draw more lines and march across the blanket like that. So I will just let the yarn go. I'll just pick this same yarn back up again and sew as I have more lines. But the drama with this, the stitching itself is drama free. It's easy to do. Once I learned the technique, and with Sachiko, you don't stab the needle into the fabric. You hold the needle and move the fabric back and forth and load it onto the needle, kind of like in a motion, kind of like this.
And that sounds challenging.
No, actually, once you get used to it, because Western sewing, you're doing this all
Yeah.
the time. But I
What
find
is
that
the advantage of that?
it's fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me it's easy to see how long my stitches to be, so I'm getting more even stitches, and that's the way the Sachiko guy told me to do it, so I'm doing it. I'm doing that. Wow,
Okay.
The only difficulty I have had is finding something to mark this fabric with.
Mm-hmm.
This fabric is a mix of things, mostly wool, and it's dark, neutral to dark colors. So I had to choose my colors wisely. So the first set of pens I ordered them from Amazon. They do come off with heat. So that they work as they say they did. But I should have known, because I think I got something like 12 of them for $10. I should have known something was going to not be quite right with that set of pens. And what happened was they did send me 12 like of the innards of the pen filled with ink, but I only got 4 bodies. So I had to choose wisely. Okay, fine. I will work with that. But the pen made a very, very light mark in all of the colors. So I decided to keep looking. So I went to Joann's and I got these guys. These are Mark Begons. So these are water soluble. Much like the other pens I got, though, the mark they made were very, very light, and I just couldn't see them well enough.
Just like a chalk work one?
That was the other option I got.
Oh, I see. We thought of this.
Yes. And the chalk that worked the best is the blue.
Mm-hmm.
It shows up on all of the colors that are going on, and it should basically wipe away eventually.
Okay. Keep the faith.
I am keeping the faith. So if you are going to try something like this, consider Taylor's chalk. And I am also working incrementally, so I'm just going to draw it on as I need it, so that I don't have the chalk sitting there like too long. But that's where we are with this, and I'm so happy with my colors. And I think that this kind of stair-step wave motion works with the squares so nicely. I love it. That's it. Lisa's super happy. Crystal's like, couldn't be me though. So I will not have
something
that.
small, like a pillowcase, not a queen size blanket.
I'm gonna take my time and do it though. I like it, and it's pretty relaxed. The other thing is, I am using basic wool. This is 100% wool. This is a wool and nylon blend. So far, I think also working in short segments is good for the wool, because I did have a couple of mishaps where I had to pick out and do it over a couple of times, and the wool kind of disintegrated on me.
Oh.
Well, I wouldn't say disintegrated, but it got pretty beat up from being dragged through the fabric, both in and out. And I split it a couple of times, and once it split, the plies broke.
So the ultra wool doesn't have nylon?
Nope.
Nope.
So, yeah. So it's something to think about, and that's why, like I said, I'm working in short segments. I'm not like pulling out like ginormous lengths and keep dragging that through the fabric. But it's something to think about if you're going to try doing something like this with wool. Wool is fragile, and you can only pull it through the fabric so many times. So I have a second project. Here we go. My weekender sweater. I have started. I lost my little end cap. The decorative ribbing detail on the shoulders and neck. Very exciting stuff. Although, for those of you who have actually made this sweater already, I was a little confused, because in the part of the pattern where they described how to do this, they were not describing ribbing. It was going to be more like moss stitch. but they kept calling it ribbing. So I don't know if that is if I'm misinterpreting, but I went through and I looked at a whole bunch of pictures. It's all ribbing. So I was like, okay, no matter what that says, I'm going to knit ribbing. So this part is going to sit on the shoulder. And it's just, I like this detail, I must say. It's going to be a very classy, classic sweater, and I am very much enthralled with it. I'm going to be just about done with the front, and then I will have to do the same thing on the back side. And then it will be time to sew it together and embark for Sleeve Island.
Cool.
And this is also in Barocco Ultra Wool worsted. And for me, this is pretty comfortable. What?
I just don't understand why I like experience wool the way I do. I'm just like,
all wools aren't comfortable for me, but this one is a good one for me.
I'm gonna start, using more of other fibers, so cotton and silk and what have you. Hopefully, I'll find some nice silk yarns. But yeah, because wearing the skirt, I was just like, oh girl, what are we gonna do? Did you work on your shawl at all?
Oh no, I'm working on these two projects right now.
See, because when you added a third project, it became untenable.
It was too much.
I was telling you
You
that.
were absolutely right. You were right about that.
There's only so much you can do.
I'm gonna get back to it, but it's on the back burner right now. Are you really gonna tisk? Oh, wow! Why don't you just bring out the shame nun and be done with it?
No, but I'll wag my finger. Anyway, somehow, Wool Walk snuck up on me. It's next week.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how that happened. I felt like I was preparing, and now all of a sudden I feel like, But, it's going to be a lot of driving. So I've been thinking about how I'm going to work my Wool Walk. So if you don't know, last year I limited myself to one skein. Well, really, I limited myself to 100 grams of yarn from each store. Typically that's going to be one skein, but sometimes it'll be more. So I went to only 6 stores last year, and my total spend was $75 because I had a limit of 100 grams, and I also had a spending limit. So I think it was $20 per store, and I was able to stay below that. But I think this year I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm just going to set a per store budget. So I'm not going to determine ahead of time how many skeins I buy, to just give myself a little more flexibility. So I think I'm going to have like what I'm going to call a soft budget of $25 per store, and a hard budget of $30 per store. So the soft budget is the number you'd like to stay under, and the hard budget is the number you won't go over. Now, because there's no sales tax on yarn, the budgets are going to all go to yarn, which is good. But last year, the first store we went to, which I think was Knit One Stitch Two,
I think so, yeah.
That yarn was $8 a ball. So if I'd had the same budget last year, I could have gotten 3 of those. But what I want, so the plan was to go to each store, buy one yarn, and then combine it into a single garment, and that's what I did. And I still want to do that again this year because that was actually kind of fun. But I also want to have some yarn left over to do other things. So this year I'm not going to set a number of balls of yarn in buying. I'm just going to have a numerical budget, and we're going to see how that goes.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know if I really want to focus all of my energy on yarn during the Wool Walk.
I'm now focusing here.
For me, I'm going to really be looking in the book area, and I'm going to be looking in the tools area, because there's a couple of things I could use.
Like what?
I could use some more of these needle caps because...
Oh, yeah, because you don't have matte sets.
That doesn't bother me, but I don't have the sizes I need for the different needles I have. I'll use a shoe and a star. I don't care. I think I have a cone and a shoe right now. It's bothering me not at all. Yeah. And I need some more blocking pins because I don't know where they go, but they just take off and leave. So first you have 3,000 blocking pins, and then you have 3.
You know what I don't see at stores a lot? Cases for crochet hooks. And I really wish somebody was carrying those, because I would like to be able to. I bought several from Amazon, and you know, you just don't know how well it's going to work until you get it. So you put your hooks inside it and you work with it. And while the case I have right now is okay, it has zippers. And I just would prefer to have a non-zipper case or something that rolls or something, because I can't be trusted with zippers, not around my yarn.
Oh.
I'm always getting my yarn caught. Not even like in the teeth of the zipper, interestingly enough.
In
where the zipper pull is. Yes.
Yeah, that's where my yarn ends up. In that little gap.
I will keep an eye out for something like that. But no, I'm buying yarn.
No, my
just so we're clear.
My needle situation has never been better. Okay, since I put together those notebooks, oh my God.
Knitting takes too many needles. Oh my God. That's another reason.
Maybe you want to get just a notebook and some
I don't want a notebook. It's too big and clunky. And I like to have my hooks each in a slot where I can see them laid out, so that when one is missing, I know. If they were all just bunched up together in like a little Ziploc or something, when one goes missing, I would not be aware. So like right now, I know that my 4.5 millimeter is in the wind.
It's with those pins.
She's gone on vacation and didn't tell me. Because that space is empty. So I do like to keep my hooks in like slots where I can see them all in a row and know when something's gotten away from me. But that's the only like tool type thing that I might be looking for. And actually I need some new scissors, because I want scissors that have a cover.
Yeah.
Because the little pocket where I keep my scissors in my case, it's mesh. And so sometimes my scissors poke through.
Yeah.
So I will be looking for small scissors that have some sort of cover and are sharp, when the scissors have gotten a little dull. So little things like that I might keep an eye out for, but I'm all about the yarn. But now I have to decide, you know, which stores we're going to on each day. I don't know why I put that off, but I've kind of like grouped the stores into like little clusters, so I know which area I'll be going to. But now I have to decide which day, because Mom has suggested going to the furthest stores earlier in the week, and that might be a good idea.
Yeah,
so I think
I
that's
agree
what
with
I'm going to do. So I'm going to hit Northern Jersey and the shore stores earlier in the week, and then kind of start pulling back to the closer stores.
You know what? I was thinking that we skip the shore stores because we go to those all the time. Are you okay? Did you glitch?
I don't know about that. I like the shore stores.
Me too. But I thought we were going to focus on more stores that we had not actually gone to before.
Yeah, and still go to the ones we've been to before.
Oh,
at the same time.
I see. Okay.
We're going to do both.
I see where we're at.
We're not taking stores away.
Out of my cold dead hands.
What is you thinking? And we still haven't been to Mother Knitter.
I know, we haven't made.
This is a store I'm still trying to get to. So
by the time we think, oh, we should go to Mother Knitter, we're all tired. It's like, oh, let's go home.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I want to go to the store too. And Russell is the only one who has Ito, which is a brand that I am becoming quite enamored of.
Okay.
So
you know what? If we go to the short stores, let's start at Mother Knitter.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
And then work our way back. Because Balzac and Company and Grace and Pearl are literally like 10 minutes apart. So very easy to hit both of those. But yeah, that's all that's going on right now. I finished my sweater vest. I am planning my wool walk. And I am trying to plan my next project. I don't know why I feel so torn. I don't know. But I want to work on both things. I'm just really excited about both projects. It's either going to be a dress or a pair of shorts. We're trying shorts again. But yeah, that's all that's going on.
I'm thinking about my first warm weather make.
I know you're not thinking about another project right now.
No, I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to do anything about it at the moment. But I know. I'm trying to be moderate in my project casting on, but you know I have startitis. I do. I have startitis.
Because your poor shawl ain't getting no kind of love.
She's getting no love whatsoever. Okay, and I like her. It's sad.
But your wool sweater is warmer than me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you started this sweater a while ago. It was still cold when you started it.
It was. But you know what? It'll be cold again. I will pop that bad boy out in October and be ready to go.
I say you're gonna make like a tank top or something.
No, I told you I saw this wrap top that's normally sewn, and I'm thinking of knitting one. But I'm gonna have to plan it out in some other material first, just to get the dimensions of it, because I see a lot of line drawings of the pieces, not a single measurement to be found anywhere. No, nothing, not even a hint, like, ooh. Not even proportions, you know, like you might want to make this part this and that part that. So I got a package with a whole bunch of paper in it. So what I'm going to do is make myself like a paper version.
You know, I have a bunch of tissue paper, not tissue paper, but tracing paper.
Is it
for pattern making? It's on a roll.
Oh, great. All right. Maybe I'll borrow some of that, because I want to make one in paper first, and just to get the general dimensions.
You do a lot of pre-crafting, listen.
There's no pattern for it. And I don't know how you create whole things without thinking in terms of, you know, well, you know what? This thing, I have never made anything like it before, so I have no idea what it should measure. I'm thinking bust plus 4 inches of ease, 2 inches on each side. But I just want to see what that's going to look like, because it's going to need to wrap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you button it on the back.
Are we going to get one of your sketches?
Yes, we are going to get one of my sketches.
My body model?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why she thinks those are so hilarious, but
they're cute. It's just like one of those quirky things you do.
But it really helps me with visualizing, well, what is it going to look like on me?
It's really cute.
I mean, should I draw it on somebody else?
No.
Oh, she don't got to do me like that.
No, I'm just looking forward
what
to
is your pre-craft step?
I draw really ugly sketches. And I don't color them, and I don't, like, you colored yours, but then you had like just a little patch of color here to just set the mood, and you know, your body had hair, and it was just like, she doing it. I was just like, oh, okay, my sketches are wholly inadequate. They're just black and white. It's the basic shape of the garment. There isn't even a body in it, and no, there's no color.
Because I'm actually trying to visualize it, like,
yeah, your sketches are,
you're
it's
seeing
a moment.
the pieces, you know, but I'm gonna have to do a sketch of the pieces too, you know, just so, like, okay, and label it like this is supposed to be like 12 inches or 14, or whatever.
And so I first do my ugly sketch, and then I do a schematic that has the numbers on it.
Yeah,
but yeah, mine aren't as lively.
You know what? I want you to do a lively one.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't just share your regular.
I bet you're up to that.
I bet you your sketches are not nearly as
they're
sad as you say they are.
I don't draw it. Since I was a kid, I have just sucked at any kind of drawing. Either.
But Rachel draws.
Well, yeah.
I don't really draw.
But I have so much trouble translating what's in my head to the paper. Somehow when I get into that flat 2D space, it's just not what I thought it was going to be. So I think that's one of the things I like about crocheting garments, because that is one way. I'm better at doing it like over the long term with yarn than I am at doing it short term with a pencil. But yeah, I've been feeling like I need to work on conveying garment shapes on paper better, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, and you know what? You can practice just by copying some sketches.
Yeah. You know what I used to do? I would draw the outfits I was wearing. So instead of trying to pluck something from my imagination, I would draw the thing, like each day I would draw what I worn that day. But it was hard, so I stopped. I'm just gonna
you know what helped me though with my line drawings was I would look up a line drawing of, let's say, a pair of pants, and I would just copy that pair of pants, because sometimes my initial drawing would be just way too flat, and
and trying to get any kind of dimensionality or texture or anything, that is also very difficult.
A line drawing of the specific type of garment you want, and copy that drawing. It's still your own drawing. You can always give it your own verve and panache, but this way you can accurately show the drapery
that's
fabric.
what your things have, verve and panache. Man of panacheless.
They're very panache, I'm sure. If you guys have any way that you'd like to visualize your things before you make them, share with us.
Like, I see people making mood boards, and I've been wanting to make mood boards, but it just seems so daunting. I don't know how to put it all together. I don't know. We'll see.
I made mood boards. They're not, you know what? Where I start with my mood board is a picture that makes me say, yes, that's what I mean. Or I'll see a picture and my mind will get stuck on it. And I will put that picture in the mood board, whether I know what part of the thing it's going to be or not, because I'm stuck. I can't get rid of it. So I include it in the mood board. And then you accumulate other things that are part of what. Matter of fact, Rachel and I did a class together, a drawing class, and that was one of the steps that we did in the class. We learned how to put together a mood board. I'll show you the class.
Okay.
And she's like, yeah, okay.
No, but you know what? We will give it a try.
My nerdy little, she's like, yes, my sister's a nerd. I just saw the nerd face.
I ain't even say nothing, yo. Anyway, I think we, embarrassed ourselves enough for today.
I think so. I agree.
So next week will be a little different, because we're going to try to put up at least a short video each day as we will walk. So no promises. I said try.
And it'll be a little chaotic.
Oh, God.
Because we just got the hang of filming stationary at home.
And I can't find my selfie stick, so I don't know how this is going to go. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it happens.
But yeah, so stay tuned for, the 3 of Skeins chaos walk. I mean, we'll walk.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys next week. In the meantime, stay stitching.
See you next time. I know, I want to